Hey, this is John Wayne Mercure, the Sonneteer, Chandler, Arizona, from the Society of Living Poets. And I'm talking to you way out there in cyberspace. The whole world, it's flat now with technology. Isn't that wonderful? Sensei can talk to you, and you can talk to me. Look, I've read this to you before. I'm going to read it again. Just think. You're here, you're alive, listening to me, not by chance, but by God's choosing. His hand formed you and made you the person you are. He compares you to no one else. You are one of a kind. You lack nothing with your talent that His grace cannot give you. He has allowed you to be here at this time in history to fulfill His special purpose for this generation, and I think that's fabulous. Why? Because we're all so different. That's the beauty of divine plan. We're all so different with different talents. I don't know why we don't treat each other better. In downtown Phoenix today, President Trump is coming. Good. Hey, he's only trying to do the right thing. He's the president. And you got to see, anybody that is violent at those demonstrations, they're picking the devil. That's Saul Alinsky. Look it up on the internet. Saul Alinsky. The Democrats, they're Saul Alinsky devils. That's why they're fighting and scorning and making fun and calling people names and making trouble and demonstrating and throwing Molotov cocktails and breaking windows. They all should be in jail. You resort to violence, and that's the devil. That's the devil. You've chosen the devil. We're trying to be at peace. Well, you can't be at peace when people are making trouble. That's one of the rules, all right? You can't be a victim. We don't want anybody to be a victim. We're all Americans, all right? You can't be a perpetrator of evil things either. And lastly, you can't be a bystander. And we're so mean to each other. I don't know why. We're just as mean to animals. And it's a shame. This sonnet, number 802. Humanity has a complete absence of compassion. I hate to admit it, but look at the news every day. Can't we all just get along? We have to, or we're all going to die. It's a matter of survival. Gandhi and Albert Schweitzer, they said reverence for all life was basic to civilization. We have to care about all life. We can't be mean to anything. It is also said the more things change, the more they remain the same. Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. Means it's the same. It changed, but it's the same. Gandhi spoke of reverence. Jesus spoke of mercy. So long ago. It's a terrible pity. Hypocrisy is still horribly awful. The evil that people do is staggering, inconceivably wicked. Devils walking within humanity, picking Satan, cruel souls that are dead, folding their hands in church. Oh, we're so holy, we can get forgiven on Sunday. Asking for forgiveness and sinning again. I remember what Jesus told Mary Magdalene. I forgive you. They condemn you. I condemn you not as well. Go and sin no more. Everybody forgets that last part. Go, mend your ways. Don't sin anymore. Folding hands in church, asking for forgiveness and sinning again. Torturing the innocent, hiding their crimes, causing great pain. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, calls attention to live chickens thrown into scalding water. Awful critics laugh. They mock true compassion. Complicit as monsters. A package of chicken is picked up in a grocery store market. The savage result of handling broken chicken legs. Overlooked, huh? Nobody saw them mishandling those chickens and breaking their legs. Helpless baby chicks, rejected rapidly for one reason or another, tossed alive into wood chippers because they don't want them, ground up alive and slaughtered as fertilizer. Lobsters thrown alive mercilessly into pots of boiling water. What's wrong with us? Doesn't that hurt? Oh, it doesn't hurt them for long. What? You can't be an accomplice to that. Monsters are human beings who have sunk so low. Evil haters. Sharks, they're harvested only for their fins. They cut off their fins and let them bleed to death. Prized shark fin soup. And they bleed because they got to have their soup. There's a species of sharks that are almost being wiped out. Come on, can't they live? No, they can't. Carve the fins off. Throw the sharks back in. Let them slowly bleed to death. Or be devoured alive by other predators that see the blood. Death most ruthless. More money for dirty pockets of blood-soaked, wicked wealth. Baby seals clubbed to death, shrieking for their nearby mothers. Mama, mama. See some skinned alive for their pelts. More evil slaughter. Baby calves raised for veal. In tiny pens they can't even move. No room to even turn around. Tiny baby pigs immersed in cages. Unable to ever lie down. Know that these human monsters make their lives and their living with this crummy employment. Anything for $1, anything for a paycheck. So they brutalize animals, eyes glazed with wicked violence. No compassion. Realize these same people would terrorize human beings if they could, and they do. Victimizing human beings is the next step, worshiping blood. Every unnecessary savagery is written down in a celestial record. God keeps a record of every act, of every idle word, of every evil deed. See justice meted out eternally, a flaming, vengeful sword of the Lord. Be aware, your conscience speaks mercilessly, avenging every word. I wrote this sonnet September the 8th, 2009. Let me tell you all out there. You got to write something for your grandkids. I'm doing this for my grandkids. I got a granddaughter, Carmen Renee. She's 5 or 6, going to be pretty soon here. She's not going to remember me. I wish I would have known my grandparents. I had a great-great-grandfather that rode with Kit Carson and John C. Fremont, a pioneer. And Albert Pfeiffer was my cousin. What? Look him up. I wish I could have known him. I wish they wrote things down. I'm telling you, write things down for your family. Please, Society of Living Poets. This is sonnet number 806. To be old and in the way. I'm 74. And I had heart surgery 15 years ago that didn't work, but I'm still here. And I'm about to jump out of my skin thinking of all the things I still have to do, and my life is almost over. 74? I see people in the obituaries all the time, a lot younger than me. God has blessed me. I hope He's blessed you. But I'm telling you, getting old is not for sissies. Believe me. Death panels, committees of economy, councils on the aged, last breath planning, forecasts of what to do with all the dead. Old people past their usefulness, just hanging on, killing time. Cold-hearted people want to dispose of the old. That's not a crime. Crickety joints, mostly blind. Old-timers, Alzheimer's disease. Rickety bones, brittle as glass. Do with them as you please. They're old and invisible and in the way. Shove them aside. Their time is long past gone. Boo-hoo, a song. Above them, a false god to them now. Demon politicians, planning them a wrong. Wrong them because they are old. Plant them in graves early, belonging to the dead. They are a nuisance. Anyone can see that. Socially invisible, never invited, put in a convalescent home. Wickedly ignored, as if they were not even there. Nobody's home. Forgetting to pull zippers up. Forgetting to pull zippers down. Getting urine soaked. Depend on it. Adult diapers are all around. Walker time. Canes required. I have to use 2 canes. Falling down and fracturing hips. That doesn't get better. Hip replacement. That sometimes doesn't work. You get sicker and sicker all the time. Old people are always sick. Fascist death panels will decide to limit and ration health care. Ruthless bureaucrats deciding on death. Old people, you better beware. You're too old to keep alive. Get out of the way. Put grandma outside in freezing temperatures. Let her freeze. Let grandpa do without his medicine. Cremate the bodies. Young people are so much cheaper to care for. Favor the youth always. Damn the elderly. They are too senile. And that is the truth. They won't even remember. Put the old folks on an ice floe. Let them drift out to sea. Gut elderly health care. No money available. It's a tough economy. Social Security Trust Fund was looted of $5 trillion by government thugs. Think of the interest on $5 trillion. They got to replace that $5 trillion. Why? Because Social Security's not broke. It's never been broke. It's been robbed blind. And all you, John Steinbeck, in that movie Viva Zapata, he said, strong people don't need strong leaders. You got to be a strong leader out there. Hey, they stole $5 trillion out of Social Security, and they treat these old people like that? What? You got to replace that $5 trillion. Evil politicians kill their own elderly to save a single buck. Audits, where are they? They're not even done. Money's stolen. Graft, bribes, earmarks, illicit. Log rolling. Wicked government bugs, pointing bony fingers, thieving bandits. I wrote this. It says here I am 67 years old. Well, I was when I wrote it. I'm 74 now, and I know bureaucrats plan for elderly demise. Why, they never think they will get old themselves, so they preach their lies. Kill grandma and grandpa. It is government soul that dies. I wrote this September the 14th. 2009, gee. What I'm telling you is, hey, it's a privilege to get old. But Gertrude Stein, she said we're always the same age inside. I'm 74 years old, but inside, I'm 25. I've always been 25. I love being 25. And when you see an old person, you see a survivor that's probably 18 years old inside. They deserve some respect. They really do. A lot of those old ladies, when they were 20 years old, they would stop traffic with their beauty. But now they're old. Don't you think they still deserve respect? This is sonnet number 807. Water. I could scream this from the housetops and tell you again. Water for cheap, clean fuel and drinking. The answer to everything. Global warming. It's hydrogen. It's in the water. You burn it, you get more hydrogen. The sun is a hydrogen reactor. Your body is 40% hydrogen. It's like God saying, it's right in front of you. Water is life. You could heat homes with it. You could run cars with it. Tap water. It's taken for granted. It's clean. Do you know how half the world doesn't even have clean drinking water? Just think you've got drinking water available on demand. After seeing billions of people die of dirty water, what a godsend. Clean drinking water right on the tap. Just looking in a well dug into the ground. It's musty and moldy. Drinking such water probably does make a person ill, germy and filthy. Things in the water making people sick, bacteria infested, being forced to live without clean water, the living dead, short lives. Water haul for miles, carried in buckets, contamination, the slaughter of the poor, bad water, living in corrupt third world nations. Third world nations with political leaders reaping huge profits, absurd water contracts, controlling water, no pity for the sick, letting millions of people struggle to survive drinking deadly water, quenching thirst on fungal-filled, parasitic, infected water. Water drained and tainted with fecal and urine contamination and chemicals. Ooh, ooh. Terrible consequences with dirty water. Avoidable evil. Boil water cleansed by the heat. Usually, there's no fuel available. Soil water. Murders by infection. dysentery, ugly cholera. Now, hydrogen fuel is clean and can be used for homes and transportation. When hydrogen fuel is available at 10 cents a gallon, every nation can have prosperity. Fuel to sterilize water, to power automobiles, to create prosperity. Fools in high office take their stolen profits by thievery. And I'm telling you out there, a strong people don't need strong leaders. Tell them it's hydrogen. Wake up. You think the gasoline companies want that? It's inevitable. We're all going to die of contamination and global warming and pollution and cancers if we don't put a stop to this. You guys out there, living poets, stand up and say, hydrogen. Greed overwhelms their sanity, these people. Evil bureaucrats could not care less. Farmers need water for survival. Parched farmlands in distress. Aqueducts could be built, harvesting rivers before they get to the ocean. The Columbia River runs right into the ocean, and the Columbia River is huge. You're telling me we can't run aqueducts? But the water lawyers has got water contracts because there's big money in water, and they won't let it happen. They could run an aqueduct all the way to the Colorado River and supply Phoenix and California and everywhere else, but they won't do it because water contracts. Why is that? We can't have hydrogen fuel. We have to have water contracts and make sure everybody gets a big nasty profit. Aqueducts could be built, harvesting rivers before they ever get to the ocean. But wicked water lawyer contracts prevent that from being done. And they don't want it done. Nestle, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they steal aquifer water for their factories, vampire wells. See corporations leave aquifers drained dry. Deserts of hell. Water is more precious than gold, sustaining all living beings. Terminal disaster, drought-stricken nations, fatal thirstings. The 2008 movie, Flow, For Love of Water, is a must-see masterpiece. Fate of a thirsty world depends on clean water for peace. Great nations will go to war over water. Hydrogen fuel could be used for peace. And I'm telling you right now, I've got about 12 sonnets written on hydrogen. But they don't want it. You see hydrogen cars. They got hydrogen cars. Why can't they do it? There was a guy, he had a hydrogen carburetor that fit on a gasoline engine, and he got a patent for it. All I'm telling you is, it's possible. Why don't we do it? The profit motive, they don't give a damn if the whole world dies of pollution and cancers and global warming, as long as they can make their damn dirty profits. When it's hydrogen, it could be 10 cents a gallon. I'm telling you right now, it's in the water. God bless us, everyone. At least think about it, all right? John Wayne Mercure, the Sonneteer. Brenda Kay. She's my videographer, and she's really good putting up with my nonsense. I mean, daughters are wonderful. Ask Mark Twain. He was so upset about the death of one of his daughters. When she died, he just kind of lost his mind. He thought that God had stricken him with losing his loved ones, and he couldn't take it. And I understand that. You know, you don't want to lose anybody in your family. And you guys out there, you better start talking to your family. Better start writing something for them. Write a few verses. Right, say, this is for my granddaughter that I love dearly. This is for my beloved husband. It's my beloved wife. Leak them. Comes to this. Your body just wears out. Everything wears out. And it's awful. They don't tell you how awful it is. C'est la vie, à la Francienne dit, n'est-ce pas? Savez-vous? Verstehen Sie? Brenda Kay. See what? She left me. She's got chores.
done. I'm sorry, Jessica's out there is messing around again.
Jessica's.